and welcome to Let's Get Technical here on Tuesday morning at Hanover Architectural Products. I'm Dan.
And I'm Laura.
And our topic today is going to be porcelain pavers, and specifically talking about quality to the core.
What's the core?
Aha, good question. Well, Laura's joining us today. She's been working behind the scenes on this project for some time, and I understand, Laura, you've been fielding some questions from folks about the porcelain. So we thought we'd take an opportunity here today to kind of talk about some of those questions and just kind of answer some questions for you if we could.
Sure. Okay.
So, quality to the core. We talk about porcelain. First of all, understand that Hanover has spent quite a bit of time researching porcelain manufacture. Okay, and we searched basically the world over and landed in Italy and come up with a manufacturer that is producing our porcelain for us. Okay, and we've learned that there are different quality levels within the porcelain. And you can tell one of those proper characteristics by looking at a cut cross section. So we talk about the core, we're talking about this center section in here. Now porcelain, to be porcelain, has to be fired at a specific temperature for a specific range of time. Okay? Some porcelains aren't fired as long or at those same temperatures, and they get a little bit of a core in the center, which is this dark kind of color you see in the center of this particular porcelain paver.
Now, is that what they refer to as a black core?
Correct. That's referred to as a black core. Comparing that to, again, a cut section of one of the Hanover porcelain pavers, you'll notice you have a monolithic color tone. That tells us this particular porcelain paver was fired at the correct temperatures for the correct amount of time. Okay? So that's a quality standpoint issue.
Okay. Right? So now by firing it adequately and the correct length of time adds to its strength?
Correct. Yes, correct. This product is rated about 3,400 load pounds, okay? And which enables us to put it on pedestals like we did here in this particular application. Okay?
So one of the questions that I get quite often is freeze thaw resistance. A lot of our projects are in the Northeast and subject to freeze thaw.
Right, right. Not a problem as far as the structural integrity of the product. Okay, it can handle freeze thaw. One of the things you're going to typically be associated with is going to be de-icing materials.
Absolutely.
Right? So Hanover recommends always, for both its concrete pavers and the porcelain pavers, a magnesium chloride versus a calcium chloride.
Okay.
Okay. As with any kind of area that's salted heavily, we always recommend in the spring that you have a washing of that area to get the remaining salts and what have you off the surface.
So what about the porcelain pavers is going to help it to stand up to those de-icing materials a little bit better?
It's low absorption value.
Absorption.
Okay. It actually has an absorption value of 0.01%. Almost no absorption whatsoever. Yeah. Good example of that is the product is actually rated to withstand Class A chemical stains.
Class A chemical stain.
Yeah, Class A chemical. We'll break it down. That's oils and things like that, but more to us.
Talk to us
something
about
like
something we know,
wine.
right?
Yeah, something like wine, exactly. We've had this paper kind of soaking in here for a little while. And we'll pull this out and get a paper towel here first. And wipe this off. You'll see, and even in a bath of wine, with that low absorption value, these pavers won't really stain. You can wipe that off simply with a paper towel, and voila.
Yeah, that came right
No
off.
stain. Yeah.
Great.
Perfect.
So backyard barbecue, you've got these beautiful
yeah.
porcelain pavers. Naturally, somebody's coming in and they have their little accident with their
Well,
mustard.
we have some mustard, some ketchup, mayonnaise, whatever the case may be. Actually, gonna squirt that on there, are you, Laura? Okay, Laura and her mustard. All right, good, good. All right, same thing, not a problem. We can wipe that off of there.
I don't know if they can see it. I'm not sure.
Oh, here, let me pull that out here a little bit.
Dan, you're scratching the pavers.
Oh, no, not to worry, Laura. These pavers are all but resistant to abrasion, okay? I'm sure that'll come right off of there.
Jeez, it sure does.
Yeah, not a problem. Very resistant to abrasion, scuffing, scarring, that kind of thing.
Well, there's common areas where you've got lawn furniture
Right.
and people moving things around. That's great.
Yeah, not a concern. We can take this mustard and get this right off of here. And you'll see, I'll hold this up here for you folks. And you'll see there's no residue left behind from that mustard. So, yeah, the absorption value, the density of the product really adds to that ability to resist those kind of stains. So, it makes it perfect for especially amenity areas, areas where you may have barbecue and outdoor kind of gathering type things on plaza decks or roofs, or even backyard patio areas.
So you're saying plaza decks and roofs, and obviously what we're standing on here, this looks like a very large piece of porcelain.
It is. It's one of the newer pavers. With our manufacturer, one thing that's unique to Hanover is we've created actual very unique and custom porcelain pavers that our manufacturer produces only for us, okay? So this is one of those particular pavers. It's a newer paver. This is our new Turkish white marble. It's a nominal 4 foot by 4 foot paver that we have supported on our Hanover elevators.
So I can use the same elevators to install my concrete pavers as I can my porcelain pavers?
Definitely, yes. The only difference is with the pedestal top, the elevator top, it's going to have this low profile configuration because the pavers, the porcelain, are only 3/4 of an inch thick.
3/4 of an inch thick. That's kind of, it's thicker than porcelain, regular porcelain.
Well, it would be like your porcelain you're using in your house, which is
Right.
typically 3/8 of an inch. This is 3/4, a little bit thicker to provide some additional structural stability, knowing that it's being set on pedestal type application.
Can I use it in my house?
Certainly, certainly, as long as you had the ability to adjust your subfloor levels, certainly.
Great. So in this, the application that we're standing on, it looks like there's a pedestal midway.
There is. Hanover's recommendation for any type of paver is that we have support pedestals set at 2 foot intervals. Okay, so there's actually a pedestal sitting right here at this intersection as well.
Okay, well that's the same as a concrete paver, so that
Yes,
would be
correct.
much the same installation or
Same,
similar.
same system, absolutely, same system.
So one of the things that you had talked about, Dan, is the patterning and some of the designs that are unique to Hanover.
Right.
This barnwood paver has some pretty intricate detail to it.
Does.
Is that going to repeat? Am I going to notice that same pattern?
There is a repetitive pattern, but it is, depending on the style and the shape you're picking, can be repetitive after 30 to 50 some cycles.
Okay.
So if your contractor's installing and he's laying from a full pallet, pulling multiple pavers off the pallet, you're not going to notice that repetitiveness in the field. Okay, it's only repeating itself in 30 to 50 cycles.
Oh, so that should make it easy for
Yeah, a lot of
installation.
variation in the pattern itself.
Great.
Okay.
So big question always, can I drive on it?
Well, you can. Okay, I'm going to say you can, but there's limitations, obviously.
Okay.
Depends on modular size, application, etc., type of vehicular traffic. We really recommend, if you have a consideration for that, you contact our technical folks and have a conversation, let them walk you through that process.
Okay, so anytime that you do have questions, feel free to reach out to us at letsgettech@hanoverpavers.com with some of those questions, and we'll be happy to get back to you with some of the answers on those technical questions. So talking about pavers on pedestals, you said that the porcelain pavers are 3/4 of an inch thick. How much do they weigh?
Now, 9 pounds a square foot. I know what you're thinking. On a roof?
Yes.
Wow, aren't these things going to blow away on me? Yes, they could. So it's very important that you understand that in a plaza deck type of a condition, what is our uplift pressures?
Okay.
Okay. Now, at 9 pounds a square foot, there's not a lot of resistance there.
Right.
However, Hanover is stepping ahead and already kind of figured out. And in 2 weeks, in our next upcoming Let's Get Technical discussion on December 15th, we're going to be discussing our new grid lock, which is a grid system that fits over top of our pedestal and has the ability to add weighted elements to it to help resist that uplift potential.
Great. Great. So pavers on pedestals. Let's talk. Tell us a little bit about the edge condition on porcelain pavers.
Well, sure. Your typical manufactured edge has a bit of a taper to it.
Okay.
From bottom to top. Okay, so a little bit wider at the bottom and narrower at the top. About a 16th inch difference. All right. Now that's the standard manufactured edge. As soon as you cut the paver, you have what we now call a rectified edge. The rectified edge is more of a square edge condition.
Okay.
Okay. Should be noted that some of our modular pavers, such as the Jerusalem stone and the PA flagstone products, are all modular pavers with rectified edges. They've all been cut from
The modular pavers.
larger pieces.
Right.
Yeah.
So this is an example of our Jerusalem stone.
Correct.
But this doesn't have a rectified edge. This has a little bit of a
It does.
crazy
It does.
edge.
Isn't that awesome?
Yes, it's
Yeah.
beautiful.
That is unique also to this industry. Okay, you're not going to find a lot of porcelain pavers out there with that kind of edge configuration. The Jerusalem stone in its large module, 16 by 32, has that configuration.
Great.
In the modular pattern, which is a multiple smaller sizes, they're all rectified.
Rectified. Okay, great.
A great question. Perfect length. All right.
So it sounds like we've got a product with low absorption that's going to be resistant to staining. It's easy to install. It's easy to clean up. Practical uses.
Yeah.
Sounds like something that's quality to the core.
It is, and that's the key. Again, going back to what you're looking for in these particular pieces, you want to make sure when you look at your porcelain, you're examining the porcelain you want to specify or use, that you're looking for a good quality, properly fired, properly cured product. So good questions, Laura.
Right.
Hopefully you can take some information back to your clients and
Definitely.
provide them with some good insight on the product. So,
Thanks for joining us today.
Yes.
Remember, in 2 weeks, join us again for Let's Get Technical. And Dan is going to be discussing our gridlock material. And also,
any questions from today's Let's Get Technical? You can email us at letsgettech@hanoverpavers.com. And thanks for joining us today.